So a couple things that we want to do. We do this every year. We want to give you an opportunity to select a new team if your team or your franchise has been eliminated one way or the other. So we're going to go over which teams have been eliminated officially, which teams are unofficially eliminated, baseball together style. And then we have some teams that have clinched, and then we'll go into contenders on both the American and National League side and give you some ideas of who you might want to root for. Okay. Playoff team shopping. Officially eliminated teams: Pirates, Reds, Cubs, Nationals, Marlins, A's, Rangers, Angels, Tigers, Royals. That's
For those of you keeping
how
track at home, the Angels were eliminated today.
today.
That is new.
Yep, it is. These are teams we think are basically out, but it has not been made official. That includes the Red Sox, the White Sox, the Twins, Giants, D-backs, and obviously the Colorado Rockies. I shouldn't say obviously with so much fervor, I guess. But anyway, the only two teams to have clinched a playoff berth so far are the Dodgers and the Astros. Everybody else is considered a contender. The American League contenders are the Yankees, the Blue Jays, the Rays, Cleveland's baseball team, and the Mariners.
And
The
the
NL
Orioles.
contenders,
We can call the Orioles a contender. They're in the hunt.
they're in the hunt. Yes, they're the underdog / comeback story that we're all kind of watching closely. But the NL contenders are the Padres, Cardinals, Mets, Braves, Phillies, and Brewers. Some of those teams will be officially clinched very soon, but as of this moment, they're not. So we have to put them in the contenders category. Okay, Brad, why don't you start off? If you're a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, how do you go about rooting for which of these teams you root for, and how do you go about making that decision moving forward into the playoffs?
As a Pirates fan, I would probably root honestly for the Mariners because you feel like you've been in the same boat for a long time. A lot of Mariners fans called the team the minor league or the minor league team of Major League Baseball just because for so long it was like you didn't get attached to somebody because you knew they were going to get traded, especially under the last GM. He would bring up a prospect, somebody who was supposed to be really good. They're like, yeah, I'm excited about this guy. Oh, wait, he got traded.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what the Pirates do. So the Pirates, in the current situation where they're at, where they have a couple of stars, they got O'Neill Cruz, who's one of the biggest names in baseball right now because that dude is unreal.
Yeah.
You look at the Mariners and you say they had a couple guys for a couple years there that they built around, and
Yeah.
look at them now. They are right on the precipice of the playoffs, breaking the longest playoff drought in North American major sports history.
Bro.
If the Mariners can do it after 6 years of having the current GM, the Pirates can
Yeah.
do it in 5 or 6 too. That's why
Yeah,
I'll be rooting for the Mariners as a Pirates fan.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like that. All right. Let's see. If I'm a Cubs fan
Okay.
and I don't want to root for the Cardinals, which makes sense,
Right. You wouldn't want to.
and I can't bring myself to root for the Mets, but I want to. I just won't let myself. You see, because there's probably some like weird affiliation thing that nobody wants to talk about, but is actually there. Okay. We all know it's there. Just don't talk about it. Anyway, I think that you have to stay in the National League if you're going to root for them. And I want them rooting for the Phillies, is my personal opinion. If you're a Cubs fan, you should be rooting for the Phillies. They're doing the comeback thing. They've had over a decade of playoff drought. It's time for them to have their day. It's not going to happen though, and you're used to that as a Cubs fan. So it will feel like home rooting for the Phillies.
You're
It's
right.
comfort. It's a comfort choice.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Okay. I'm going to jump over to the American League. I want to go with the
Okay.
A's.
Okay.
And if you're an A's fan, you should be cheering. I think we did this last year too for this very same reason, but I can't remember. But if you're an A's fan, you cheer for the Rays.
The
Because
Rays.
the Rays are the A's East. They're
Yeah.
dealing with all the same problems. They have a stadium that they're trying to get out of, trying to upgrade their facility they play in. Their management works on a razor thin budget. It seems like the Rays do pay a little bit more than the A's do, but not a whole lot because
Yeah.
they have one of the lowest payrolls. And it's been based off of homegrown talent. that
Yeah.
the A's just need to draft well and not have guys leave for the NFL, right? And
Yeah.
and have guys reach the major league level and they could contend rather than trading off. And I know they had kind of a fire sale this last year, and they got some pretty good prospects that hopefully will pan out for them. Only kind of hoping, but
Right.
just because they're AL West. But anyway, no, these two teams are like mirror images of each other. It's just that one is run better than the other, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's true.
that's the issue there. But no, if I'm an A's fan, I'm cheering for the Rays.
It's nice. It's really nice. So if I'm a Tigers fan, I'm confused. I probably stopped watching baseball after Miggy broke 2000, and I'm not paying attention anymore. So here you go. You could just kind of roll the dice if you're a Tigers fan. And I'm not being pejorative. This is legit. So if you're a Tigers fan and something is going to bring you back into watching baseball this late after this amount of time, then I think you have to watch the Orioles try and make this comeback. I think you share orange. Orange is cool, right? For those of you that like orange, you're unique. You're all by yourself. Orange is cool. And then I'm just kidding. But ultimately, if the Orioles don't make it, they're an exciting team to watch, and it's worth watching an exciting team play, especially with young talent. And if they lose, you haven't lost anything, right? You're not out. You get to watch some really fun baseball for the next, couple of weeks at least. And then if nothing else, you're good. You just go back to watching the NFL or whatever it is you do with your time.
Whatever it is you do with your time. Yes.
Okay,
All
Brad.
right, I want to go with the Red Sox, but I'm having a hard time deciding who those fans should cheer for.
Oh, I know. I already got that one. You want me to take that one?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a hot take.
Okay.
If you're a Red Sox fan, you need to be cheering for the Yankees.
I knew you were going to say it.
And here's why. Because let's be honest, at the end of the season, you want Aaron Judge so bad. You want to pay him all the money and bring him over. So root for him, get to know him, see how good he is. You're not going to get him anyway, but even if you do, or even the fact that you want him that bad in your lineup, and the fact that the Red Sox organization are going to go after him as hard as I think they're going to go after him, you need to have a preview more than you've already received of what it's like to root for Aaron Judge, just in case, because it could be like a reverse Bambino curse situation. Could be really ugly.
That would be fascinating.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to see that play out like that. Okay, I do have my next team though. I'm going to go with the Rangers. And if you're a Rangers fan, you're going to cheer for the Dodgers. If for no other reason than you want Joey Gallo to finally get a ring, even if he is waving the towel at the end of the dugout.
No, Brad. No.
Brig, I guarantee you there are still so many Joey Gallo jerseys at that stadium in Arlington.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many Joey Gallo fans who would love for him to get a ring just because of how well he played when he was a Ranger.
For sure.
Right? It's just like
staple.
The Rangers didn't do anything for him. They didn't build a team around him to go anywhere, and we saw that. We saw that this year. The Rangers got eliminated last week even when they did pay guys.
Right.
So, yeah, no. As a Rangers fan, I would be cheering for the Dodgers just for Joey Gallo. That is the only reason.
I think if you're a Twins fan, you have to tip your cap to Cleveland. And I think you start watching Cleveland. I know that's kind of a hot take, but I think you have to.
That is a hot take because I never cheer for division rivals ever.
Right. I know. That's why I'm saying you have to.
Especially in a year when you were supposed to beat them and now you just are trailing off into nothing this year.
Yeah, we're 7 games back. The Twins are 7 games behind right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, if I'm a Twins fan, I would probably be cheering for the Mets.
That makes sense.
Just because the term "metting the bed" didn't come from nowhere, right?
Right.
That they have this history, and then I feel like it's just like you want to see a team who doesn't do well, even if it's when it's like They
That makes
played well
sense.
for the entire season, and then they came down to September, and then they just fell right off and missed the playoffs again
Yeah.
because that's the Twins. The
Yeah,
Twins
it
should
is
have
the
won the
Twins.
Central this year.
That's true.
The Guardians had
Honestly,
no business.
I think that if you're in the National League and you're already eliminated, you should be rooting for the Mets. Like, there's a really good reason for you to root for the Mets all the way around. They've got one of the most exciting lineups, even with Francisco Lindor not really coming to play this season like we thought he would. He did better than last season, but it's not the same. I think the Mets are the most exciting team, given the context and the storyline. If you add all of the emotional weight of it up, the Mets are the most exciting team to watch right now. But it's hard to say the Braves aren't one of the most exciting teams to watch right now for the
Right.
same reason, except that they have recent success. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
literally
funny
the
because
only difference.
the Braves are having like a mirrored season of last year. It's like the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would cheer for the Mets over the Braves if I was a National League fan. I think you're right. I think that's absolutely the way to go. Except I did think it was funny after I talked about the Pirates cheering for the Mariners. I was like, I went down the list and I was like, well, who would you cheer for as a Reds fan? It's like, honestly, the logical team would be the Mariners for Reds fans to cheer for because they have 3 fan favorite players playing for the Mariners now in Jesse
Ah,
Winker, Gino Suarez, and Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo.
Took
Yeah,
their
that's
3 best players
awesome.
from last year outside of Jonathan India and have them playing for the Mariners now and are a big part. I'd say all 3 of those guys are a big part of that run. I mean, Jesse Winker has not been great for large parts of the season, but I think he's been a big clubhouse, had a big role in the clubhouse to
Castillo's
keep
been
things going
amazing.
right. Castillo's been outstanding. Gino Suarez has hit anytime they needed him to hit a big home run, he has.
Yeah.
Like that dude has come through multiple times, and he was the throw-in contract too. It's like, all right, we got Jesse Winker, we got to bring over Suarez.
Yeah.
That's fine, Now
Yeah,
it's like, hey, we
okay.
got Suarez, had to bring over Winker. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Do you have any other advice or hot takes you want to share on this team shopping thing, Brad?
If I'm an Angels fan, I cheer for the Padres just to see if they can do something to knock off the Dodgers and bring something back to Southern California. If they can't do it, maybe the Padres can. It's somebody other than the Dodgers because obviously the Angels fans hate Dodgers fans, because of the rivalry.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about the rivalry between the Padres and the Dodgers necessarily because, I mean, unless they're playing, right?
Right. Unless they're playing. Yeah. When
Yeah.
they're playing, it's
Yeah.
all the rage, but
Yeah. Yeah. But it's the same thing with the Dodgers and the Angels. But you see it more with Dodgers and Angels fans because they're both quote unquote LA teams. So that really gets pushed hard, kind of like the Subway Series. But no, if I'm an Angels fan, I'm cheering for the Padres just so that they can knock off the Dodgers for no other reason.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I like that a lot. Well, if I'm a Rockies fan, I think I'm rooting for the Broncos at this point.
The 1-1 Broncos, yeah.
Being honest.
Most likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Marlins? If you're a Marlins fan, I mean, I know you said all National League teams should cheer for the Mets, but if you're taking away division rivals, so you're taking out the Mets, you're taking out the Braves, the Phils as well.
Yeah,
who
can't do the
does that leave
Phils.
for Marlins
I
fans?
think if you're a Marlins fan, wow, that's a really hard one. I want to say Tampa Bay, but I don't think that flies. I think you're gonna have to go with Toronto.
That's
I
what I
think
was thinking too. Toronto.
if you're a Marlins fan, you need to be rooting for Toronto because you're kind of young talent, lots of potential. It's happening in Toronto right now. It's going to be happening in Miami potentially in the next couple of seasons. That's it though, and they're probably all pals. Is the biggest reason.
They probably are, but that's exactly what I was thinking. The Marlins fans should cheer for the Blue Jays just because they're put together similarly. And granted, the Blue Jays had top prospects, right? and
Oh yeah.
they had the lineage, everything that the Marlins don't have. But the Marlins have Jazz Chisholm. They have Sandy Alcantara. They
Yeah,
have an
right.
exciting team. They have Jorge Solar, who
Yeah.
I still think could do great things in Miami,
They still
despite
have
the
Donnie
fact they had it.
Baseball.
Yeah.
He's terrific.
Yep. Yeah. So I think the Marlins fans should be looking at what the Blue Jays have done, and
Yeah, I agree.
because they could go in there, they could wreck the NL East next year.
Yep. Yeah, they
They
could.
very well do.
Next year, it could be between Baltimore and Toronto. Honestly,
It could be. Yeah.
that'd be a world, wouldn't it?
Because no Judge this year, the Yankees are what, a 500 team probably,
Barely.
maybe
They're barely a
barely
500 team.
500. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah. So no Judge next year, the Yankees are in big trouble.
Yeah.
Big time.